Welcome to Talk of the Town right here on C19 TV. I'm your host this week, Tim Foster. Great to have you along. Starting to get hot outside, and there's a lot of great events that go on in Cleveland County each and every year during the summer, and one of those is the Reel to Reel Film Festival. And great to have Thomas Manning from the Cleveland County Arts Council Marketing Coordinator. Thomas is here to talk about it. Welcome to Talk of the Town, Thomas.
Thanks so much, Tim. It's always a pleasure.
And of course, you may have seen Thomas from time to time, every week, every other week on Meet Me at the Movies. Of course, Thomas, a big part of that with Noel T. Manning and variety of guests. Thomas, from time to time, you guys have filmmakers, you have actresses and actors, and it's always a great show. So check out Meet Me at the Movies. But today, Thomas, we're going to be talking about the Reel to Reel Film Festival 2024. Right around the corner. But first of all, Thomas, how long? You're fairly new to the Arts Council. Talk about that.
So I've been in the Arts Council for about 6 months now, and I'm in the position that was previously held by Violet Arts. She did a wonderful job
did a great job.
almost 20 years there, and so definitely big shoes to fill. But I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I've had there, and I'm meeting someone new, someone different, someone interesting every week. Artists from all walks of life. It's really really a privilege to be working at the Arts Council.
Arts Council is awesome. I mean, there's so many wonderful things. I know you've got summer camps that are going on as we speak right now. And talk a little bit about the spring and the summer since you've been there. You guys have been pretty busy, right?
Yeah. So we got a new exhibit. Basically, every 6 to 8 weeks we rotate. I think the first big one we opened up was the Treasures of the Earth Pottery Show.
Yes.
February and March. We had the student art competition with submissions from all K through 12 throughout Cleveland County. And then we're also wrapping up the Cleveland County Artist Competition. And then coming up, we have the Roscoe Con Artist exhibit.
The old con art. Yeah. That sounds very interesting. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So so we have a mixture of exhibits that are kind of submission based, but then also that give off and spotlight individual artists, such as the Con Artist exhibit or the Hal Bryant exhibition that we'll have later this year in the fall.
Sure.
So
Well, our main focus today, though, Thomas, is Reel to Reel Film Festival, and big thanks to our producer this week, Bill Harrelson. I think we're going to see a graphic of that here momentarily. But wow, and there it is. It's hard to believe the 25th annual. And I remember because you talked about going back in time. Violet Arts, of course, had your position, but going back many years ago, a guy I knew pretty well, my brother, Paul Foster, back in the late '90s, before he came on and worked at Gardner Webb for many years, and give my brother a plug there at WNCW now, right down there in Rutherford County. But I remember going to the first or maybe second year. This event has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And first of all, Thomas, I want you to talk about a little bit the preparation for this is not just like 3 weeks before you start. Talk about the prep for the Reel to Reel Film Festival every year. And of course, it'll be at the Joy Performance Theater in Kings Mountain.
That's right. Yes. So I've worked previously with Reel to Reel in kind of an internship position. Back in 2020 when everything was virtual. That was a really interesting experience.
I bet it was.
A lot of stuff to learn. And then in the years since then, I've done some help, on location with some Q&As with the filmmakers, that kind of thing. But this is my first year where I'm fully involved in the entire process. So basically, since I started working at the Arts Council back in December, basically since day one, I kind of hit the ground running with it. And a lot of it was just researching the history of it. And we are celebrating 25 years this year.
That's amazing.
Founded by Will Eskridge and my father, Noel Manning, back in
99, right?
Yeah. And so I think a big part of what I'm hoping to do this year is just really highlight the history and show and appreciate where we came from and how it's led to where we are. Started out back 99, 2000, and it was just at the Arts Council building.
I remember that.
They wheeled in a projector screen.
I remember that,
and then we kind of built and to where we are, and we've been at the Joy Performance Center for over 20 years now. It starts out, you have over 100 film submissions that come through from all across the world.
And this is not just like in 4 or 5 states or just certain. This is, again, if you heard what Thomas said, all over the world, right, Thomas?
Yeah, exactly. We got, obviously a lot from here in the U.S., but we got submissions from Europe, countries represented. This year we have Switzerland,
Wow.
Ireland, the
Yeah.
UK, Australia, Turkey. So it is an international film festival, and it's pretty much open for submissions from all over the globe. So.
Yeah, and it takes a committee. Talk about the committee it takes, because back in the day it was VHS tapes. When we go back to when these early ones came in, and when we're talking the late '90s, early 2000s, and it went to DVDs, and now people are just sending links or sending
right.
you flash drives or sending you something on the cloud. But talk about the committee and the folks that decide on the best of the best.
Yeah. So the platform we use is called Film Freeway, and it's a place where we basically have all of our submissions right there for us to go through online. And I'm lucky enough to have, as a member of the North Carolina Film Critics Association, have a lot of contacts, a lot of people who are willing to set aside some time to screen some of these submissions and judge them and add comments and deliberate. So I have recruited probably half dozen or so members of North Carolina Film Critics.
Really?
Yeah, and then volunteers from the community, some people who do this on a yearly basis that are continuing to come back and help out, and had a few people from over at Gardner Webb that willing to volunteer their time as well.
Because
but
it takes time.
It really does. Yeah, as I said, over 100 submissions.
Wow.
And you got to start months and months ahead of time. I basically started back in January and February, kind of browsing and perusing the submissions, and that's just really a daily thing you got to go through.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about July 24th through the 27th. It's just right around the corner. Talk about as folks this year, and you see it on your screen. There's the website, and we'll talk more about that as well to be able to get tickets. But what, if you're coming this year, what are we looking at each day, Thomas, for this year's 25th annual Reel to Reel Film Festival?
Yeah, so shows will start nightly at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, there will be a matinee at 1 o'clock. And that Saturday matinee is when we'll probably have some more of the films geared toward younger audiences,
Sure.
some of the animated type stuff. And then for the night blocks is when we'll have some of the more mature themed type films. We'll have a variety of short films, documentaries. We'll have a few feature films, and then we're hoping to this year, as we have had in the past, have multiple filmmakers in attendance who are able to sit there with the audience and have an audience reacting to their film.
And I was going to ask you, one of the great things about this International Film Festival each year, and it's really increased every year, the filmmakers that come back, and we're expecting to see that again this year.
Absolutely, yeah, and we'll have Q&As with some members of myself, obviously, and then other members of hopefully North Carolina Film Critics there, conducting these Q&As and giving that option for the filmmakers to interact with the audience and to take questions and provide answers. So
it's going to be a very exciting time. The thing I love about the Reel to Reel Film Festival are the different genres of films. You talked about it, short films, comedies. One thing that, as I've gotten older, I really enjoy documentaries. Do you have a favorite? I mean, obviously, we know you're on Meet Me at the Movies, and you cover a lot, but as you've gotten a little bit older now, Thomas, do you have a favorite area that you like more than any other?
I think when you look at the history of Reel to Reel, some of the strongest stuff we've had are from documentaries.
Yeah.
And when I interned in 2020, there was one about an Everest expedition. I think it was called Beyond Dreams.
Oh,
and
wow.
that ended up winning Best of Fest that year.
Yeah.
And this year, I know for a fact a couple of the other documentaries that we have are going to be very much in the running for the awards. So yeah.
And they're all good because the short films are good. The comedies are good from time to time. And some of these films, that's the one thing I've noticed. Some of these films, you see an actor or actress that you might see in a bigger film. Talk a little bit about that, Thomas.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm glad you mentioned that. If you even go back to I think it was 2001 Reel to Reel, we had a film called Noble Chrome Pirates that won. It was a short film from the UNC School of the Arts.
Yeah.
The director of that film was Jeff Nichols, and Jeff Nichols is a guy, you might not know the name, but you know his movies. He actually has a movie in theaters right now called The Bike Riders that has,
Yeah, I've seen.
yeah.
That's a good one from what I hear.
Yeah, it's got Austin Butler, Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
So you got names like that, and we do have a lot from UNC School of the Arts. A lot of those filmmakers and actors go on to have incredible careers. Also, back in, I believe, 2008 or so, Chadwick Boseman, the late Chadwick
The
Boseman.
late Chadwick Boseman, I remember that. Yeah.
He had a film here. We've had Bryce Dallas Howard had
Yes.
a film as well. So we provide this this platform where a lot of people end up going on and doing incredible, wonderful things in the film industry.
And I got to mention to you before we talk about the website and how you can get tickets, concessions. And the thing about your concessions, if I remember in the past, they're not like $7, $8, $10. You guys have got very affordable concessions. Is that going to be the case again this year?
That is, yes, that the affordable concessions are returning. We'll have a variety. Well, obviously pizza, popcorn, beverages, and candy. So yeah, it'll be there, and it's not going to break the bank.
So if folks are listening, as we're talking about Reel to Reel Film Festival 25th anniversary, July 24th through the 27th, there's the website we've got on your screen. Do you just go to this website to get tickets, Thomas?
Yeah, you can go to reeltoreelfest.com and click the link to buy tickets there, or you can come to the Arts Council in Uptown Shelby, or call our number as well and purchase over the phone. And keep up with our Facebook page as well for updates. We're consistently posting there, and you'll be seeing a lot more about Reel to Reel as we get closer and closer over the next few weeks.
And I'm assuming if you just want to buy for the day, that's fine, but can you buy a pass for the whole event?
You sure can. Yeah, you can buy a day pass or a festival pass, and that's up to you.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like with me and you talking, we were talking a little bit before we started recording, you got a great number of films and some really good ones this year. I think a lot of people are going to be blown away. Would you agree again this year?
Yes, I definitely would. The quality of submissions this year has been so high that some of the decisions we're making are very difficult because there's just so many we want to show, but we do have a limited amount of runtime as well. So that's
that's
a tough
the
process.
challenge,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the challenge, because unlike the theaters, you get 4 days. You don't get 3 or 4 weeks to be able to air, but it's going to be so great to see the filmmakers again. And again, Reel to Reel filmfest.com, Joy, and don't forget, that's the key, Thomas, the Joy Performance Theater will be the location. And as we wrap up, talk about that. I think it's a great location for this event.
Oh yeah, it really is. I actually did a site visit there a few days ago, just to kind of check it out, scope out the space, and there are some renovations that are going there as well. And by the time we get to the festival in July, there's going to be some new additions to the space that audiences in years past might not have seen, and then you're gonna get to see a new and improved look. So Joy Performance Center, we can't thank everybody over there enough for opening it up and allowing us to come host the festival there.
Well, Thomas, thank you so much for being here on Talk of the Town. Reel to Reel Film Festival, July 24th through the 27th, Joy Performance Theater. Come see Thomas, the filmmakers, the films. Marketing coordinator at the Cleveland County Arts Council. Thomas, thanks for being here today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Tim.
All right, don't go anywhere. It's hot out there, so get you a beverage. If it's towards the evening, you might be flipping a burger or a hot dog, but stay where you are, because we've got more Talk of the Town. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Tune in to Senior Moments here on C19 TV. I am Jackie Sibley Newton with Terabella Assisted Living. Whether you are a senior planning for your own future or helping someone make decisions, Senior Moments has got information to share. We talk about the wealth of services, activities, and healthy living options available to you here in our area. That's Senior Moments on C19 and also on C19.tv.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town right here on C19 TV. Tim Foster, your host in this week. And so great to have with the Cleveland County Library System, Todd Dellinger is our second guest today. Todd, welcome to Talk of the Town.
Thank you so much for having us today.
Todd, so many things going on at the library. There's been, some changes through the years. And I know you guys are having a great summer. You've had a great spring. So let's just get right into it. For those that maybe haven't been to the library in a while, tell folks a little bit about what they experience if they come visit you guys.
Absolutely. Well, there's so much more available than what you think of as the traditional library where you have to be quiet and there's just books there. We have a lot of digital resources that are available with your library card. You can use an app called Libby, which is better than Audible and better than the books you have to buy on Amazon for the Kindle, because it's free. And they check out just like they do books. They are returned automatically. And you can put books, audio books or ebooks on hold, just like you would standard books. And also, we do a good bit of library programming at our library throughout the year, but this time of year, summer, is really a big time for that programming. And so people need to think about our library as more than just a traditional library, but we've got cake pans that can be checked out. And we're continuing to develop the collection, so there's all the great books that you'd expect, but there's a lot more too.
I think, Todd, when everything went digital and you talked about when you could order the ebooks and the books online, a lot of people thought that the library just kind of disappeared, but that's not been the case. You guys have adapted, and you guys have some wonderful resources. I mean, that's one of the things that I continue to hear, and we're going to talk about a lot of your programs and events going on, but it's not just for kids, middle age, it's for the entire demographic. Talk a little bit about that.
Everyone, absolutely. The State Library has a website. It's nclive.org. There are books by North Carolina authors there, if that's your interest. Magazines available, free opportunities to read the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal. Consumer Reports is a popular one. We have a physical copy in the library, but you can go back like 15 years in digital copy. So people say, well, I'm looking for a car from 10 years ago. I said, well, get on NC Live and you can find the review that Consumer Reports did. Also there are videos available for kids instead of having to pay for something like Netflix or some of those subscription services that are all vetted for children and reading books for children as well that they can put on their tablets. You can transfer those right over to a Kindle tablet if you have one, and it's all, like I said, free, and it all returns, so you don't have to worry about being late or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome. Talk about location-wise.
So we have two physical branches.
Not just one.
We have two. A lot of people don't realize we have a great branch up in Lawndale. If you are coming into Lawndale from this area, from the Falston side of Lawndale, when you get to the bank of OZK there, before you go into town and you turn at the park,
I know exactly
which is
where you're talking,
and there's a beautiful white building up on the hill. It has a great history there. There was a school there.
It was,
And that's our Spangler branch, and there's some exciting things happening there in the next little bit. They're going to be building a meeting room up there, so the Upper Cleveland County will have a meeting space. It'll be free to reserve, and that'll be a great addition onto that library. But they have a fantastic collection. They have a great kids collection, and they have a lot of great programming going on as well that I'll share a little bit later on. And then, of course, we have our main branch here in Shelby, which is right across from the park.
It's been here many years.
It's been here many years.
Wonderful resource.
It's a fantastic building. It's had some updates. We've added a teen space, which is really just for those upper middle school and high school age kids. There's a young adult collection in that room, as well as graphic novels, and manga's gotten very popular with kids. And we have a fantastic collection that our teen librarian Bree has cultivated, and it's really a good showpiece for the library. We've also added a makerspace in the last couple years. There's a 3D printer. We have open makerspace hours that you can come in. There's a 3D printer there that's open to the public. There's a Cricut printer. There's a sewing machine.
Wow.
There's other kind of crafts
Yeah.
like make your own jewelry kind of things in that makerspace, and we continue to develop
Wow.
that.
So you guys have got so many wonderful resources. You could literally spend a day or two just checking out all of those. Well, and let's talk about now as we're getting into summer. Let's talk about Todd events that are
Absolutely.
going to be coming up either maybe at one location or both locations. Talk about some events that are coming up.
Absolutely. I'm going to showcase outreach because I'm a little partial to
Absolutely, yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But we have been doing some great programming with a partnership with the Cleveland County Mall. During the month of June, they've invited us to host their kids club.
Cool.
And so for the past 3 weeks, we've had some great events. We have partnered with a couple of organizations, Kid Senses up in Rutherfordton,
Yes.
and Mad Science out of Charlotte, that do just really super high quality STEAM programs.
yes, they do.
And for the summer, you want to excite kids, and that
Yes.
we don't want it to be like school type things. We want it to be learning with some fun.
But you want to stimulate them through the summer
Absolutely.
to get them ready for the next school year.
And we've had fantastic turnouts at the mall, really back and above what pre-COVID. COVID had kind of knocked a lot of our programs down for the last couple of years, but we've just seen a real surge in attendance in the programs there. And we have one more this month, next Tuesday at 10:30 there. Kid Senses will be coming, and they'll be doing a program on aerodynamics. So if kids are interested
that'd
in
be neat.
space and
Yeah.
flight and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
that's a fantastic program. And we also been doing some programming at Hollyoak Park, and we are there doing story times on the second or third Tuesday of every month, and Monday, I'm sorry, third Monday of every month.
Third Monday of every month. Yeah. Okay.
And we'll be doing a program there in July on skins and animals, and we'll have a ranger from South Mountain Park there to share that with the kids.
How
and
neat.
share about
That's
the
a great
animals around.
location. Yeah, I've had a chance to film some stuff out there. It's a great location.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area, and they're always welcoming to us. We have a great relationship with the Shelby Parks too, which we appreciate.
Yeah, and the thing I love about what you guys are doing with the library system, Todd, is the community involvement. I mean, talk about how important that is for not only kids, but for adults.
Absolutely. We have great partnerships with the school system, and we've been able to deliver some programs out to the schools. In the fall, we took a mobile planetarium around, and almost all the third graders, over 750 kids, got to participate in that program. And it's so expensive to either travel to a planetarium or whatever. This is an inflatable dome, and it gives you the same experience as being in a planetarium. And we talked about the upcoming Artemis missions to the moon and that sort of thing that tied into their reading lessons that they were doing at the time.
Well, that's very, very neat. All right, so we've got about 3 or 4 minutes left. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about July and August and what's coming up.
Absolutely. So we've got some fantastic adult programs. The fourth Monday of every month, we have a chess club, and it has been growing. We've been doing that the last 2 or 3 months. So be sure, the next one will be Monday, June 24th at 5:30. And then it's every Monday after that.
Head right into
fourth
July,
Monday
right?
at 5:30
Yeah.
into July and into the fall. And like I said, we've really been growing attendance there. There's a summer reading challenge going on now through the end of July. You can come by and get kind of a bingo card, and it challenges you to kind of read some different books to complete that bingo card to get entered into a drawing for some cool prizes that they have.
Yeah.
And just come to the front desk for that. On Thursday, June 27th, we'll be doing Paint a Person from 5:15 to 6:45.
Oh, well,
Not exactly as you would imagine.
Yeah,
no,
now
it's
wait a minute.
portraits.
That sounds
It's portraits.
not an individual himself.
Not painting the person,
but a little bit of a painting
that's
of a portrait.
to try your hand at painting a portrait of your spouse or your friend or
That
a
sounds
complete
neat.
stranger. So,
Yes. Yeah.
that one I may go to myself. I'm kind of think it'll be fun.
That sounds like fun.
And they've got some other things coming up. There's on Monday, July 15th, a country music bingo. That'll be at 5:30. And this one I think is going to be very well attended on Thursday, July 18th from 5:30. There'll be some local experts that are coming to talk about our local and famous cryptids of Cleveland County. Now, if you don't know
Ah.
what a cryptid is, I had to look it up. I'll be
Yes.
honest with
Yeah,
you.
now tell our viewers what that is. If we have a few that are saying, what did he just say?
Some of our suspicious creatures, Sasquatches,
Yes.
and I know you'll know this one here from the community college,
Yeah,
our local Yeti.
Yetis, yes, we've got
Absolutely.
some Yetis. And I see them around campus from time to time.
So
this dives deep into that a
that
little
they'll
bit.
be exploring that and the
Okay.
origins of those stories and that sort of thing. So that one will be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll hear some good tales. And I'm sure some of them will be tall tales
I'm sure,
too.
yes.
But for elementary age kids, we've got some great things coming up in July at our main branch. On July 11th, there'll be a paint and sip, and kids will have a chance. It'll be at 1:30,
Okay.
and they'll have a chance to enjoy some refreshing fruit juice, and there'll be some, chance for them to paint and have some fun with our youth librarian doing that. And this is going to be a big one for
Okay.
kids. On Thursday, July 18th, Caleb Sigmund is going to present
Oh,
Dragon
Caleb's great.
Quest,
Yeah.
which is a fantastic storyteller, and he will just enthrall the kids.
Caleb's amazing.
And it comes from dragons and
Oh, yeah.
medieval times, and so it's just a neat thing. And on Thursday, July 25th, they'll be making constellation jars at 1:30.
Wow.
So
there's-
if you missed any of that,
Yeah.
it's all on our
Yeah, and I was
website.
going to ask you, where do you go?
You
If,
can go
Todd,
to
if our parents, our viewers want to go, where do they check it out at?
Absolutely, and so that will be on our website, and you just go to events. It's in the left-hand column on the webpage, the main webpage of the library, and it'll pull up a calendar, and you can click on each event to get details and times and that sort of thing. Most of them don't require registration, but some of them do, and that just helps us plan.
Well, that's very neat, and I think our producer, Bill Harrelson, will have that website that he'll bring up where you can find out more information. There it is, clevelandcounty.com. And, of course, you can call 487-9069. We've got about a minute left, Todd. What about if folks just want to, can you still just, if I want a book, if I want to check, can I check out a book?
And
or-
I'm one of those people, I like a book in my hand.
Can we still do that in 2024?
Absolutely. And one thing that a lot of people come in and say, how much does it cost for a library card? It costs absolutely nothing.
nothing, yeah.
If you work in Cleveland County,
That's great.
if you live in Cleveland County, all we need is a driver's license with a current address. If you have moved, we just need a piece of mail with that address and that photo ID. We can get you a library card, and you can start checking out books and have access to all those digital resources that I've mentioned. It's really that easy. It's about a 5-minute process, and we'll hand you some information out about how to manage your account online and all those other resources that are available. We have public computers. We have public printing. You get 5 free copies a day with that.
Wow.
And printing has gotten so expensive.
Yeah,
a lot of people
it
take
is.
advantage of that because they, if they just print a few pages a
Right.
month or something, it's not worth having a printer and paying for it.
Well, Todd, thank you so much for being here. We have covered so much, but again, go to the website and check out the Cleveland County Library System. Todd, we'll have you back soon. Thank you for being on Talk of the Town.
Thank you so much.
And of course, if you've got story ideas, info@c19.tv. You see it on your screen for future shows. Have a great summer. Check out the Reel to Reel Film Festival. Check out the Cleveland County Library System, and we'll see you next week for more Talk of the Town right here on C19 TV.